Welcome to Sportsbook Reviews, Games Too Risky to Bet. I'm Joe Duffy of OffshoreInsiders.com, and along with Troy West of TroyWins.com, we talk about a game that is too risky. Maybe there's a little bit too much uncertainty, maybe there's a lot of conflicting information, or a combination of both. And before we get to Troy West's game that is too risky to bet, remember, please like our videos. If you truly like the information that we give you, literally like it. And feel free to comment. Troy and I will respond to any comments or questions that you have. And the single most important thing is make sure you subscribe to these great videos on the Sportsbook Reviews YouTube channel. A very diverse group of personalities, very knowledgeable people, free picks, a whole lot more. You definitely want to subscribe to sportsbookreview.com's YouTube page. Troy West of TroyWins.com, what game do you think is too risky to bet this week?
Yeah, Joe, I just want to remind the viewers real quick, last week our game too risky to bet was the Dallas-Washington game. And, as the game led up and the weather report came out, torrential downpour in that game that really affected it. So, reminder to the viewers out there, we're doing this video on a Monday. Weather comes into factor this time of year in a lot of these NFL games, so just keep that in mind when we're giving you these games. But I'm going to go back to the NFL, and I'm going to go to the Washington-Seattle game. This Washington game Washington's going to be traveling into Seattle. Washington coming off another tough loss at home to Dallas, where they really looked abysmal. They are going on the road. They travel to the West Coast. We know Seattle is one of the toughest places to play in the NFL. But the reason for this one to be too risky to bet is Seattle coming off an absolute shootout. It was a tennis match against the Houston Texans where Deshaun Watson threw for over 300 plus yards against that Seattle defense. Kirk Cousins has still been good, and I do think that's the strong point of this Washington team is their passing game. Can they get enough going? To me, it's just too big of a line here, and that's why I think it's too risky to bet. 7 points, 7.5 points, depending on your book. Go to SBRodds.com to find your best odds. But yes, it's an East Coast team traveling to the West Coast. All signs do point to Seattle getting the cover to me. But you got to remember, that secondary, Deshaun Watson was able to expose it. Can Kirk Cousins do the same thing? For those reasons, Joe, I just think this game's too risky to bet. But I think you're going to see a lot of public action on Seattle because, boy, it sure looks juicy. And you'll probably get a ton of people doing teasers on this game, but for me, it's too risky to bet.
All right, Troy, great job as always. I'm going to do something I know you've done, I think, at least twice this year. I'm going to say that the Thursday night game is a little bit too risky for me to bet, the Bills and the Jets. And it's really more so because of conflicting information. First-year head coaches have been great go-against in short weeks. That would be Sean McDermott of the Bills, and that would say to go with the Jets. But conversely, also on short weeks, superior teams have been the better play. In fact, I've got a stat that's 68-34 against the spread that essentially says go with the much better team on a short week, and that would benefit the Bills. Big favorites, despite a home road splits that would indicate that maybe the home team should be favored, but yet the road team is favored. It says go with what the odds makers are telling you under those circumstances, 122 and 78. That would favor the Bills. But again, I also have a couple angles that say go with the worst team in terms of turnovers. If a team has clearly a worse turnover rate for the year, go with that team because, as I've said time and time again, NFL is the number one regression to the mean sport. Overvalued, undervalued teams. A lot of people will tell you that turnovers, there's a certain amount of good and bad fortune involved. So again, yes, go with the worst turnover team usually is a good play, and one specifically that would favor the Jets is 563 and 427. Also, the Jets are really fitting into my dichotomous straight up and against the spread theory, where they're not so good of a straight up team at 3-5, but they're actually 5-0-1 against the spread, which to me says they are a greatly undervalued team in my dichotomous straight up and ATS theory would say to go with the Jets. So you're noticing a pattern here. Some of my proven metrics say go with the Jets. Some of my proven metrics say go with the Bills. This game is too risky to bet, even though, I know it's going to hurt me from a sales standpoint. That's okay. I only want to give plays that I will bet myself, and this game looks way too risky to bet. So again, folks, for the best premium plays, join Troy at TroyWins.com and me at OffshoreInsiders.com. And we will be back here again next week with SportsbookReview.com's Games Too Risky to Bet. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and make sure you like this video, and we'll talk to you next week.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.